Well, thank you. I am very honored to accept this award from the Society of Uniformed Services Psychiatry. Um, the research in which I received this award was based on a manuscript we published this past year in the Journal of Head Trauma Rehabilitation that was entitled Differences in Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, Depression and Attribution of Symptoms in Service Members with Combat versus Non-Combat Mild Traumatic Brain Injury. And this was a study I did in collaboration with the Defense and Veterans Brain Injury Center, headquartered in San Antonio, where we looked at service members who had a history of a mild traumatic brain injury and compared those who had sustained that injury in a combat-related environment to those who sustained it in a non-combat environment. In other words, not during a deployment. And then we compared those two different brain injury populations across multiple measures, including PTSD, depression, and reported post-concussive symptoms, or the symptoms that were associated with the TBI. And interestingly, what we found is there was not much difference between rates of PTSD, depression, and post-concussive symptoms in combat versus non-combat groups. However, when we controlled for PTSD, those rates significantly changed. So post-concussive symptoms were much more prevalent among service members who had a history of PTSD. And I think this is kind of a very relevant study to us as psychiatrists in the military, because we see a lot of patients who have a history of traumatic brain injury, and often it's comorbid with post-traumatic stress disorder, and being able to recognize that and recognize that even those service members who have a traumatic brain injury not during combat can still have very debilitating symptoms and still have very high rates of comorbid PTSD. So the research that I've been involved in has been a very enriching experience for me as a resident. I've had a lot of opportunities to present this. Recently was able with my mentor to give a webinar to the Brain Injury Association of America based on the findings in this study. And we also were able to publish a follow-up study in the Journal of Neuropsychiatry and Clinical Neurosciences earlier this year. I just want to thank my mentors who have really helped me in this research. Jan Kennedy, Matthew Reed, Douglas Cooper, and the other staff at DIVBIC have really been enormously helpful in guiding me through this research. I also, once again, want to thank SUSP and all that they have done to support me. I got involved in SUSP when I was still a medical student and have tried to remain involved ever since, and hope to remain involved even after residency. And so I really want to thank them for this award and for recognizing this. Thank you so much.